Howdy, folks. Welcome back to Fox Field here on the campus of University of Lynchburg for Game 2 of the ODAC matchup between the visiting Roanoke Maroons of Roanoke College and the Lynchburg Hornets, wearing their Sunday red jerseys, as the team likes to say, their Tiger Woods red. And they've already closed the deal once here on Sunday afternoon, taking down Roanoke 7-3 in the opener. Now they look to do it again as Nick Matfield, the sophomore, is warming up on the mound. My name is Tim LaDuca. I will be traveling along this game with you. Hope you enjoyed Mark Robertson's call, my mentor, my boss, as you would say. Learning from the best here, I'm going to try to follow suit. It's hard show to follow, but hopefully the two teams put together a good one for us and make my job easier. Also stepping in for TJ Wingert, the director of digital media here at the University of Lynchburg. He's got an off day, but we surely miss him. So if you're listening, TJ, how are you? Nick Matfield warming up on the mound, the sophomore in 3 appearances. He's 1-0. 14 innings pitched, 8 hits across those 14 innings. 8 runs, 7 of them earned, 5 walks, 15 strikeouts, almost 10 Ks per 9. Riley O'Donovan behind the dish throws the ball down, and stepping into the box to lead things off for Roanoke is P.K. Kokolis, the catcher. He's on double duty today. He caught all 9 innings in the first one, and he's back at it again here. And he'll also lead off for the Maroons. After him will be Will Smith in center field, Connor Butler at second, Mason Staz at short, Johnny Wall at third base, Owen Lawn at first, Carson McCusker will be in right field, Jacob Bonzon will be in left, and Jeb Byerly will be the designated hitter. 1 pitch, 1 out. Kokolis flies out to right field to begin this one. So easy work so far for the sophomore Nick Matfield in his 4th appearance of the season. Brings up Will Smith. Will Smith was 1 for 4 in the first game. In the first inning, he had a hit off of Zach Potts, who ended up being the winning pitcher for the Hornets. Fastball low, and Smith chased after it. Bring us to 1 strike, no balls. Chilly day. It's gotten warmer, though, since first pitch earlier in the afternoon at 12:05. We're crawling all the way up to about 46 degrees here, not a cloud in the sky. As Nick Matfield works here, 1 ball, 1 strike. Will Smith on the season batting .394 in 9 games played. Another strike there, goes to 1-2. Nick Matfield looking to get his first punch out of the day. Sophomore didn't see any action in his freshman year, and he came out in a big way in Lynchburg's 2nd game of the season. Smith waves at that one and sends that one gingerly over to shortstop, and Long turns it around to get the 2nd out of the inning on the 6-3 putout. That brings up Connor Butler, the second baseman. Butler plays a slick second base for the Maroons. As I was saying about Matfield here as he delivers his first one to Butler. That one again will be sent to Long. So 2 first pitch outs for Matfield as he works quickly in the first. He interrupts my story. I was trying to speak highly of the sophomore, but we'll have to go to break. 1, 2, 3 in the first for Roanoke. Lynchburg coming up.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. 100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret. And it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it.
Throwing his final warm-up pitch there was Will Turner. Not the Pirate of the Caribbean, but instead the pitcher for Roanoke here, a junior in his third season. He's got 14.2 innings under his belt, 1-0 record. He also pitched a complete game earlier in the season. Threw 9 innings in a 9-0 win against Case Western Reserve. He'll look to recreate that nice outing, that one-hit outing with no runs allowed, back on March 8th as he deals to the leadoff hitter for Lynchburg, number 34, Cam Lane. That'll be a strike, just nipping the outside corner of the plate. And how about this for just something interesting for you? Lynchburg sends up their leadoff hitter, number 34, Roanoke's leadoff hitter, Kokalis, he's number 34. As this number 34 fouls that one to the left field. It's 1-2. But also, 2 previous teams that Lynchburg has played has also plated a number 34 to lead off the inning. So something about leadoff hitters in this part of the country in D3 just like to be number 34. Can't say much else about it. Cam Lane, he'll dig hard out of the box after putting that one right back into the grill of Turner, but Turner fields his position. Once that ball comes out of his hands, he's a fielder just like the rest of them, and he makes the play, 1 out. Here's a fun story for you. Logan Webster steps up to the box for a second start of his career. He's a freshman. Didn't get too much work leading up to this. 1 at-bat against Dickinson back on February 27th. He pinch ran against York on March 4th. In the 9th inning against Averett, he got a hit in a 2-hit ball game for the Hornets, and he stole second. He was going to be the game-tying run. So he's impressed the coaches and earned himself a job in the starting lineup, getting work at DH today as he grounds out for the second out of the inning. Fielding that one was Connor Butler. It'll be Garrett Jackson's turn, and he's been swinging a white-hot bat. Looks more silver, though, out there on the field. But the senior from Virginia Beach slashed a couple of hits yesterday, and before the going hitless against Averett on Monday, he was on a 6-game hitting streak. So he turned things around in the beginning of this doubleheader. 2 for 2 with 3 walks. He hit one off of the top of the wall out in right field in that first game. Almost was a home run. This time he will fly out to end the inning. Back to Connor Butler. And both teams go quietly in the first. 1-2-3 inning for the Hornets as well. Will Turner gets through the first untouched. We'll come back for the second.
Look what you're missing. It really don't matter to me. I'm just happy to be here. I might go crazy.
back at it here at James C. Fox Field. I'm Tim LaDuca. Calling the action here is Nick Matfield toes the rubber for his second inning of work. The sophomore will face off against Mason Stas here, and he'll get a first pitch strike. He's been dealing early in the count here, and it's paid off for the sophomore so far as Matfield had 2 first pitch outs in the first inning, looking to keep that pitch count low here in the second. Keeps pounding the zone here, finds another strike on the outside part of the plate, and Stas is down 0-2. Stas had 3 hits in the first game today after flying out in the first inning. He went double, single, scored a run, and singled again. Was out 6-4 though. Couldn't come around to score in the 8th inning. Lynchburg played a close game at first with Roanoke in the first game. At one point it was 4-3, but once Grayson Thurman came onto the mound, he shut the door and maybe gave his Hornet offensive players a little bit more confidence, and they went out there and they hung 3 more runs to get Lynchburg the win and restarted a new winning streak. Stas works the count back up to 2-2. We'll see if Matfield goes after Stas here. He does, and he gets him to fan at it. And that's going to be a strikeout for the sophomore, his first of the day. And around the horn for the Hornets. Gives time for Johnny Wall to come up. Wonder if Johnny Wall goes by Johnny to differentiate himself from John Wall in the NBA. It's got to be his walk-up song, is that John Wall song. Matfield's looking good here. Pounding the zone here. This is his first pitch ball of the afternoon. Comes right back with a strike that kind of falls through the zone here. Riley O'Donovan, the catcher behind the dish, probably caught that one out of the zone, but when it crossed the plate, it was hittable for Wall. Wall pushes this one the other way, but Lane tracks it down right in the basket, and there's 2 away. Brings up Owen Lawn. Owen Lawn in his first season. Batting .231 for Roanoke. There's another first pitch strike for Matfield. Roanoke has been offering at that first pitch strike, but so far it's converted into outs, so nothing productive for Roanoke yet. Swinging at that first pitch, and Lawn decides to lay off of that one. Lays off the second pitch, and it's a ball. Lawn had 4 hits against Case Western Reserve as Roanoke swept that opponent. Back into a nice pitcher's count here for Matfield. Let's see if he can put Lawn away. With the 1-2 count, 2 outs. Carson McCusker due up if Lawn can stay alive, and he does. That one just misses the outside part of the plate. Inside to the lefties, but outside here to Lawn, and that one got a little reaction out of the sophomore on the hill. See if he can compose himself and come back, and he does. Comes back to essentially the same spot to mow Lawn down. It's 2 Ks on the inning, 2 Ks on the day for Matfield. He's retired 6 in a row, going to the bottom of the second.
A lot of people go to the universities to find something to be a part of while getting their education. And when you come here, Lynchburg is that something, it becomes a family.
All right, buckle up, because here's Avery Neves stepping to the dish here out of the 4-hole. Left fielder for Lynchburg with a whopping .447 batting average on the season. As Turner is nowhere close on that first pitch, I don't blame him. As Neves is one of the most feared hitters in Division III baseball. Hit by a pitch on a 1-2 count in the first game to lead off the game. And oh, how about that? He'll do it again. Not necessarily a free pass to first, as he has to wear one to travel 90 feet, but on base nonetheless, and that's the second time today Neves has been hit. That'll bring up P.J. Alvanos. The senior, second baseman, leads the team with 15 RBIs. He's tied with the man on first with 15 runs batted in. There's another first pitch ball. Gets past Kokoles, and scurrying down the second base is Avery Neves. So already in scoring position is Neves, and just the guy for the job is Alvanos, as I just said. Leads the team with batting runs in. It's probably pretty self-explanatory. The batter that hits fifth in this lineup is going to have a lot of RBI opportunities, and it's good to see that Alvanos is able to cash them in. But when you have on-base specialists like Avery Neves, like Garrett Jackson, like Cam Lane batting in front of you, I'd almost imagine the only time that Alvanos is batting without anyone on base is when he leads off an inning. I mean, the on-base percentage for the team as a whole is .411, which is pretty stellar. Turner is going to deliver here 3-1. Base is open, and Alvanos will take it. So the Hornets have men on first and second, no outs, without swinging the bat. Brings up Gavin Collins, reigning ODAC Rookie of the Year. Can't really be the defending Rookie of the Year because he can't win it twice, but in search for other accolades this season is the sophomore. Another guy who gets hit by a lot of pitches. He swings at the first offering and puts that one down the line. Probably about 2 feet from sneaking down there for a double. It'll be 0-1. Gavin Collins in that freshman season, 48 hits, 11 of them sent him to second base. He had 4 triples, 2 homers, stole 9 bases, and he hit .302. OPS over 900. Excuse me, over 800. As he's down 0-2. Struck out 12 times on the season, hoping to keep that number there. But he waves at the off speed there. That would look like a cutter. Maybe a little slide action there from Turner as he sits down Gavin Collins. That was some high cheddar. Had some late life on it as well from Turner. That was a nasty pitch. Here's Riley O'Donovan behind the dish after Holden Fiedler gets a break after catching the first. He's batting .286 on the season. He had a home run earlier in the season down in Alabama when the Hornets went 2-1 to open the season in a very impressive weekend. Faced 3 ranked opponents, and the unranked Hornets at the time came away 2-1. Turner has to turn around and look at Neves. He's got to lead off a second base. It's the first time he's really addressed any of the runners on base. That one's sculled it down the line, and again, just foul. Almost found its way into the tarp down there in the left center corner. O'Donovan, 1-1. Man on first and second, 1 out. Fouls that one off. It's corralled by Kokalis, but it's just strike 2. Let's see the 2-strike approach from the right-handed catcher here. As he stares down Turner. That one's cue-balled off the end of the bat. And Turner mishandles it. Oh, wow, that's a mistake there from the Roanoke shortstop. Turner fielded it, and he had a chance to go to third. He had a chance to go to third to get Neves out there, but he mishandled it. Decided to go to second. He does get Alvanos out at second base, but as the shortstop, Mason Stas turned and tried to throw it to first base, he airmailed it. He really didn't have a play over at first base to begin with, as O'Donovan was past the bag when he threw it. So that'll score the first run of the afternoon. The umpires are going to consult about this one, so I'll try my best to re-explain it. That was a hit back to the pitcher by O'Donovan, right off the end of the bat. Weak contact. Turner had enough time, but he just mishandled it as he tried to go to third. Decides to turn to second, which is, again, in my opinion, kind of an odd decision. After mishandling the ball, just go to first, get the easy out. But he goes to second. He does get the out there. Alvanos is out at second. But then when Stas decides to turn and throw to first, he airmails it. It goes out of play. And Neves is able to just walk home. So mark that as a fielder's choice. Advance to second on the E6. And Neves scores on the error as well. I can't really understand what the umpires would be discussing here. Are they trying to figure out which base? What if Neves is supposed to have gone home? Because if Neves wasn't at third when the ball went out of play, he would only be awarded one base. And they just called someone out. I know it's my job to explain to you what's going on here, but I really can't tell you. I'm going to try to identify the problem. Maybe O'Donovan ran into the first baseman? And Lucas Jones is irate right now. He is yelling at the umpires as we're going to have a change of sides here. But I'm pretty confused about as to what happened. Oh, so they're calling interference at second base as Alvanos slid into second. And that is a tough call. But we're going to go to break, and we'll try to take a deep breath and refresh to figure that one out. Sorry I'm so flabbergasted by that play, but I'll have it for you when we get back for the start of the third inning.
When you come to the University of Lynchburg to earn a master's degree in athletic training, you'll spend time in the classroom, but you'll also spend a lot of time in our top-notch facilities learning from athletic trainers and working closely with our student athletes. In the Graduate Cadaver Lab, you'll learn about the human body in the best way possible by actually studying the human body. This will provide a foundation to make you a much better athletic trainer. In the athletic training laboratory, you'll get hands-on experience, practicing your skills, applying concepts from the classroom, and working with faculty on research projects. It's also where our hydrotherapy facilities are. This space is also used by students for studying and practicing skills outside of class time. In the Sports Medicine Clinic and Turner Gymnasium, you'll work with student athletes from more than 20 NCAA Division III sports teams, helping get them back to practice.
All right, we're back with the first pitch of the third inning, and again, it's a first pitch strike, this time swinging. From Carson McCusker, the right fielder today. All right, so I'm going to be as concise as possible here to explain this one to you. O'Donovan grounds to the pitcher. Turner turns and throws to second. Alvanos is out at second. And then Alvanos is called for interference. That makes O'Donovan out at first. So it's a ground into a double play for the sophomore catcher. And that ends the inning for the Hornets. Sorry for all that confusion. But that's the way it sorts out. Could be 1-0, but instead it's 0-0. Rolled over on it. And out at first base is McCusker. That'll bring up Jacob Bonzon, the left fielder for Roanoke. Roanoke is coached by Zach Ulrich. He's assisted by Matthew Risebell, Mitch Custer, Cody Schell, and Clay Massey. Another first pitch strike. Matfield is dealing. Go back to Matfield on February 19th, his first ever start in college. He went 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 7 strikeouts, and of note, the run and the 2 hits came in the first inning. After that first inning, Matfield didn't allow a base runner. 17 sat down in a row for the sophomore in his first game. And it wasn't against a bunch of nobodies. That was against Washington, Missouri, the number 9 team in the country. So a welcome sign for associate head coach Travis Beasley and the rest of this Lynchburg coaching staff. And I guess the whole team is the sophomore comes out of here in his second year, but no action in his first as a freshman, and he pitches a gem. And he's pitched well since. No decisions in his other 2 starts. 4 1/3 against Dickinson with 4 Ks, 3 2/3 with 4 Ks against York. Hornets won both of those games eventually. This one's fouled off by Bonzon. Bonzon, as a junior, he's batting .400, getting on base about 57% of the time. And when he gets on, he can steal a bag. He's got 6 stolen bases. Waves at that one. Oh, and he's all the way up the line. But, oh, what a play there by Riley O'Donovan, who squeaks that throw in there to Garrett Jackson at first to complete the strikeout. Wow, Riley O'Donovan put that one in through a Post-it note on the wall. Some pinpoint accuracy there from Donovan as he had to squeeze that one right to first base to Garrett Jackson. Probably right off the hip of Bonzon, who was blazing up the line. But nevertheless, there's 2 outs. That's the 3rd strikeout of the day for Matfield. Comes back after falling behind 1-0 with a strike to even the count. Before we go to break here at the end of the top of the 3rd, I'm going to play my first Wordle guess. You can play along with me. That's going to be a ball. Back to a hitter's count here for Byerly. He's the DH batting in the 9 hole. Byerly bats .263. Again, he's a guy who can steal a bag. He's got 4 on the season. Really coming into his second year as a man in the rotation. This one's fouled out, and oh, what a play there by Gavin Collins, who snags that one up against the fence to retire the side as they go down 3 in a row. And before we go, I'm going to guess my first baseball-related word on Wordle. I'm going to guess pitch. And none of those letters are there except for C, so I have a C there, and we'll keep playing at the end of the 4th inning. We're going to keep guessing. All right, 0-0 as we go to the bottom of the third inning.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. 100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music.
Back at it here at James C. Fox Field. I'm Tim LaDuca, calling the game for you on LHSN on a clear but cold Sunday afternoon. Ryan Long offers at the first one. He fouls that one in front of the plate. And Will Turner gets ahead of his first batter of the third inning. 1-0. All right, well, if you caught your breath after that second inning for the Hornets, we're back at it here as Long scalds that one to third base, but fields it cleanly and put out on the 5-3. Johnny Wall going across the diamond to get the sophomore shortstop. So here comes Carson Atkins, the reigning ODAC Player of the Week. He won his first such award after reaching base at least 2 times in 4 straight games last week. 3 hits against William Peace, hit and a walk against York, hit and a walk against York, and you guessed it, a hit and a walk against York. Also hit a grand slam against William Peace as he finds himself tied up in the count here, 1-1. Some English on that one from Turner. That one curves in there. Tough righty-on-righty matchup here for Carson Atkins as he waves at that one. He strikes out for the first time today and for the 4th time on the day. So first time in the game, 4th time on the day. That's some of the harsh realities of a doubleheader. If you have having a bad game and you gotta just keep grinding through it. He did have a single though to end his outing in the first game. Came around to score in the 8th inning. Scored on Logan Webster's first career RBI. So here's Lane, grounded out to Turner here in the first inning. Coming up in the third. 2 straight balls down in the zone. Waves at that one, fouls it behind the plate. 2-1. So Cam Lane getting on base with a .474 percentage. He is one of 7 Hornets with a OPS or on base percentage above 400. Logan Webster in 5 at bats has gotten. He's getting on base 70% of the time, so early into his career here, but pretty good numbers there for Webster. Full count here for Lane, the first full count we've seen on the day. Add 2 outs there to add to the intensity. And that one is turned on and up the middle. Cam Lane with the first hit of the day for Lynchburg, and that's going to put a runner on. And Lane does his job as the leadoff man, turns the lineup over. brings up the aforementioned Logan Webster. So the DH earlier, 2 hits, 2 walks, and he flied out. He scored 3 runs, so he was a very integral part of Lynchburg's win earlier this afternoon. A little sidearm action there from Turner. Brings that one across the body. He's throwing it from behind the ear hole of the right-handed batters. Tough at bat here for the freshman Webster. Webster, he's a big kid though. Stands at 6'3", 190. The Chesapeake native fouls that one off. Again, fouled behind the plate. Down in the count, 1-2. Good hustle there by Garrett Jackson to go get that foul ball behind the plate. So Turner looking for his second strikeout of the inning, second strikeout of the afternoon, after allowing his first hit of the afternoon to Cam Lane, who stands off first. Oh, get out of the way of that one. Logan Webster puts that one right back where it came from, and now there's men on first and second as the freshman gets his 3rd hit of the day, first hit of the afternoon. As there's 2 outs for Garrett Jackson, again, a dangerous hitter. Oh, that's a scary one. But Logan Webster, that's exactly what they teach you. Hit it right back up the middle. If he could do that, he's going to be a successful player here, playing in his freshman season. So here's Garrett Jackson, another former Rookie of the Year in the conference. Garrett Jackson is a freshman, 40 RBI, batted .350 in 40 games. He takes a first pitch strike. So technically Lynchburg looking for their first run of the afternoon in this second game, but they, at one point in the second inning, they thought they already scratched their first run across, but it was waved off after the interference at second base by P.J. Alvanos. So there's strike 2. Our scoreboard operator and PA man, Mark Robertson, had to change his numbers up there. Put a ball up on the board because he thought it was a ball. I did too. So this one's fouled up down the right field line, and a basket catch there. Nice play again by Connor Butler. He has been impressive so far in this one, playing at that second base position. And for the 3rd time in the inning, technically, he gets the final putout. That goes down as an F4, and we'll see you for the top of the 4th.
Look what you're missing.
It really don't matter to me. I'm just happy to be here. I might go.
Back at it again here in the 4th inning. This game has been flying by as we're already into the top of the 4th, so 1/3 of the way through. It'll be the top of the order for the Maroons as Kokolis way out in front of that off-speed pitch. The bottom just fell out on the catcher. Shoulder flew open, and again, Matfield working with a 0-1 count. Tries to attack that outside corner. Misses. Probably was trying to just get Kokalis to offer it that one again, as Kokalis is going to need to take a shoe time. Maybe a little creative way to slow down Matfield, who's been working quickly and getting ahead of a lot of counts. A lot of uncomfortable at-bats for the Maroons so far. They're just being pounded with strikes. There's another one, this time in on the hands of Kokalis. Kokalis leading off for Roanoke this season. He's got 10 games under his belt. He's batting .349. He's gone yard twice. Trying not to be too repetitive, but Mark Robertson did talk about how they play in a professional facility out in Salem, and hitting one out of there is no small task. But he strikes out, and he's called out by the first base umpire. That's the 4th strikeout of the day for Matfield. Brings up Will Smith. He grounded out to the shortstop in the first inning, as did the next man up, Connor Butler. Will Smith is able to lay off, as confirmed by the first base umpire. Must be brought up, but Gavin Collins for Lynchburg, his walk-up song is the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And I wonder if Will Smith, if that's his walk-up song when he's playing at home. It's got to be. It has to be. Mark Robertson, the SID, is familiar with all things ODAC, confirms that it is his walk-up song. Counts 1-1 with 1 strike to the batter. With 1 out to the batter, I apologize. Make it 2. O'Donovan sets up outside, and he's down on a knee to be on top of that one, but with no runners on base. No harm, no foul, and it's up to 2-2. Nick Matfield out of Atlantic Shores Christian High School, coming from Suffolk, Virginia. Works out of the stretch here as a starter. That one's on the ground and through the hole, and there goes that. No more perfect game. Sorry if anyone was excited. I was. I was kind of nervous about that. But Will Smith finds a hole, and there's a single. And it'll bring up Connor Butler, who's had a pretty nice day so far out in the field. He's made a couple of nice plays. Grounded out to short to end the first. That one's fouled off on the first pitch, and, I mean, almost not even worth me bringing up much anymore, but it's another 0-1 count to start off to the batter. So Matfield, working with his first base runner, is going to have to start paying attention to Smith on first, and he throws over. First out of the day back at round, I would say, 12:08 was a pickoff at first. Zach Potts, the winning pitcher of that game, picked off a base runner. These two teams do like to run. Checking out Roanoke's stats on the season. 37 stolen bases. It's a lot. Jacob Bonzon leads the team with 6. Their most in one game, they had 6 against NC Wesleyan when they won 20-4. So running up the score and running around the bases were the Maroons, as they stole 6 bags on March 5th. That was part of a doubleheader against the battling Bishops. First game for Roanoke against NC Wesleyan, they lost 11-7. Second game came around and ran up the score 20-4. So that was a long day of baseball, kind of the complete opposite of this day so far. Because there was a lot of runs in that doubleheader, and As of now, we have no runs on the board here in the second game of a doubleheader. Butler is battling here, defending a 2-strike count. See if Matfield decides to waste one, but doesn't really want to throw one in the dirt with this team that likes to run. Pitches one out. O'Donovan set up way outside for that one. That brings up the 1-2 count. This one softly on the ground and off of the glove of Collins. Ryan Long's there to cover third to make sure Will Smith doesn't advance. Waiting for Carolyn Inskeep to make the official call, but I would do the same thing, and she calls an error, and I agree. So that makes the bases loaded. Oh, excuse me. First and second, one out. But Butler reaches on an error. And so the first jam of the day for the sophomore pitcher, as he retired all 9 batters in the first, second, and third inning. Now he's facing Mason Staz with men on first and second, one out. He starts out again with a first pitch strike. And Staz, who struck out to begin the second inning, will have to try to battle back from an early deficit here. The first fielding error of the afternoon between these two games from either team. Really well, cleanly played game so far. This one's back on the ground. Alvenos turns to second, gets the first, doesn't get the second. Butler's out at second on the 6-4. And Long almost made the throw in time, but Mason Staz reaches first on the fielder's choice. So that makes it 2 outs. Johnny Wall comes up, the third baseman here. Flew out to right field. He's also got some power, 3 homers on the year. Another guy with multiple stolen bases. So Roanoke, when they do get on base, they can cause some havoc out there in between the base paths. We're going to see if Matfield even pays any attention to Staz at first base. Of course, you want to keep runners at a scoring position, but if you just attack Wall here and get out of the inning, it doesn't really matter. You also have Will Smith on third base as well. So a hit's going to score at least 1 run regardless. There's your strike to even the count, 1-1. So Matfield is paying attention to Staz over there at first. He throws over. This one on the ground again. Collins is able to field this one cleanly, and the Hornets get out of the inning without allowing a run. 5-4 putout to end the inning. And it'll bring up Avery Neves in the bottom of the 4th, coming up in a little bit.
Look what you're missing.
It really don't matter to me, I'm just happy to be here, I might go crazy.
Avery Neves steps into the plate here for his second plate appearance of the day and takes called strike one. He hits that one off the end of the bat to shortstop, and he does not beat out the throw. Good play there by Mason Staz. Called out at first base. There's been a couple of close calls today so far as Neves grounds out. Brings up P.J. Alvanos. So Neves, good hustle there out of the box from the left fielder. 6'2", 225. Neves can get up the line quick. Just not quick enough, though. So here's P.J. Alvanos. He walked in the second inning, and then he was called out on a runner's interference at second base. Ended up ending the inning and also erasing a run off the board for the Hornets. And he works the count to 2-0. No count now for Alvanos, looking to work his second walk of the afternoon. He'll get a strike right at the letters. And that's 3-1. He doesn't agree as he shakes that one off. The only starter in Lynchburg's lineup not from the state of Virginia hails from Maryland as he walks for the second time today. Alvanos takes his time going down to second base as Gavin Collins steps up to the plate. Collins puts this one through the left side, and that's a hit. And now going to second is P.J. Alvanos, only player not from the Commonwealth of Virginia. But Gavin Collins works really quickly into a first and second opportunity here for Riley O'Donovan. Riley O'Donovan did see a first and second opportunity in the second inning. He grounded into that double play. And he's down 0-1 with one out here in the fourth. Ball off the plate. Goes to 1-1. Riley O'Donovan, as I said, a home run against Washington. Again, that's the 9th ranked Washington team back on February 19th that Donovan got his first career homer against, as he's down in the count 1-2 here with one out. Doesn't choke up on the bat. And he sculls this one right to the same spot that Collins did. Being waved around third is Alvanos. Throw is cut off, and there's the first run of the day. So, all's well that ends well for Riley O'Donovan, who thought he wouldn't have gotten the RBI in the second inning. He gets the RBI here, but eventually brings Alvanos around to score, and there's the first lead of the day, first run of the day from either team in this doubleheader. So Riley O'Donovan puts the Hornets up 1-0. Here's a shortstop, Ryan Long. Now we're going to have another conversation here. There's been a lot of discussions between the umpires and Lucas Jones so far. No one's going to be called out for runner's interference there, so it'll bring Ryan Long up to the plate. One out, man on first and second. Same opportunity that O'Donovan had when he drove in a run. That one's buried in the dirt for a first pitch ball. Good play there by Kokalis, who's on top of that one. Gavin Collins at second base after the single. O'Donovan drove in a run, and now it's 1-1 to Long. Ryan Long, he's a sophomore infielder who played 44 games for Lynchburg in his freshman year. So that successful ODAC championship team for the Hornets last year had some great first-year players. And to begin the season this year, not many underclassmen in the lineup at all. No freshmen in the lineup to begin the season. But Nick Matfield is an underclassman has stepped up. Logan Webster's here in the starting lineup for the first time in these past 2 games. The youth is showing itself here as the top of the order is very veteran heavy though, with Avery Neves, Garrett Jackson, PJ Alvanos. But this is a diverse lineup here for the Hornets that can really just put up crooked numbers everywhere. Full count now for Ryan Long as the scoreboard reads 4-3-2-1. The batter's 4, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. It's satisfying. This one's poked down the left field line. Bonzon's chasing after it at the wall. It's gone. Out of here. That's a homer for Ryan Long. It'll bring home 3 runs and blow this game wide open. Ryan Long with his second career home run, first of the season. And that's a big one for the sophomore shortstop. Excuse me, that was a grand slam there for Ryan Long. So that one's gone. No, okay, I was that wasn't a grand slam. I'm sorry, everybody. So we can clip. I'll blur that part out in post where I said it was a grand slam. So Ryan Long gets the 3-run homer. And we'll see if the home run actually is a rally killer as Carson Atkins comes to the plate. So Turner, who has been tagged here for 4 runs in the 4th, still looks like he's got good command of these pitches, just been leaving a lot of stuff over the plate. But Ryan Long just pulled that one down the left field line, and Bonzon almost really made a fantastic play on that one. Looks like he was in and out of the glove. And I'm not sure, even if Bonzon doesn't get a glove on that, that one's still gone. I don't think that one was landing in fair territory. This one hit just about to the same spot. Bonzon's got to race after. He dives, can't make the play. This is going to be a stand-up double for Carson Atkins, who recreates a scoring opportunity here, back into scoring position for the Hornets. All right, so forget what you've heard about home runs being rally killers, because the Hornets are right back at it here with a double from Carson Atkins. Cam Lane will step into the box for the 2nd consecutive inning. He started a rally in the 3rd inning with a single, reached 2nd before Garrett Jackson popped out to end the 3rd. But with 1 out here and 4 runs already on the board, Cam Lane looks to keep things moving. Cam Lane hails from Manassas, Virginia. Went to the same high school as our Assistant Director of Digital Media, Sam Rice. Sam Rice, a good friend of mine, working here at University of Lynchburg together, as Lane's now down in the count 0-2. Will Turner gives a ball here to Lane. Maybe a pitch out there, but working the count even here for Cam Lane, 2-2. There's a speedy Carson Atkins is out there at second base after the double. He has 3 stolen bags on the year. I can't imagine he's going to run into a second out here at third base. And that one got Cam Lane. He's going to go to first here. 1 out, and there's back to runners on first and second. Brings up a big spot for the freshman, Logan Webster. But he may have to wait a little bit as Roanoke coach is out there talking to Will Turner. He's going to get the hook. And we're going to see a new pitcher coming back. It's going to be a call to the bullpen. Speaking of calls, it's my second guess in Wordle today. C, still not in the right spot, but there is an S at the end of the word. So we will think about what my next Wordle guess will be as we wait for the pitching change. We'll be back, ready for more 4th inning action.
Look what you're missing.
It really don't matter to me. I'm just happy to be here. I might go crazy.
So the line at the moment for Will Turner as we're back in action here at Fox Field. 3 1/3 innings pitched, 6 hits. As of right now, 4 runs, all 4 of them earned. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, none of them looking. Gave up a double and a homer. And he gave up 5 groundouts. Through 70 pitches on the day as he leaves with the runners on first and second, his responsibility. But in charge of those runs now, or at least tasked with keeping them put, is the new pitcher for Roanoke, Brandon Hill. It's a 6'1" righty out of Glen Allen, Virginia. As that one's going to be a wild pitch that puts Carson Atkins at third base. It's Logan Webster's up to bat here. So that wild pitch puts runner Carson Atkins at third base. Cam Lane didn't get the read that Atkins did. This time they both get the read, and coming across for the 5th run of the day is Carson Atkins. Carson Atkins abandoned scoring position for the run, but luckily for Logan Webster, looking for an RBI, he still's got a runner in scoring position as Cam Lane moves up 90 feet as well. Not 60 feet. This isn't T-ball. My apologies. So 180 feet away is Cam Lane. And I'm sure Logan Webster's here looking to trade places with him. He did have a double in the first game in the 3rd inning. He doubled and later came around to score on an Avery Neves sacrifice fly. But right now he's facing that 3-0 count. Still 1 out in the inning. After Neves grounded to short, 6 batters have reached safely in the inning, and 5 runs have scored, including 3 on the Ryan Long homer. Another ball spiked in the dirt, so that's 3 that have hit the dirt for Hill as he walks Logan Webster. But that one is stopped by Kokalis. It could be Lane at third base now, but it's a good play there from the catcher. Brings up Garrett Jackson. Garrett Jackson has been out by the fly ball twice now. Connor Butler has taken care of the plays that Jackson has sent his way. But those are the first 2 outs Jackson's recorded on the day as he sculls this one to first, turn to second, back to first, and that is your typical 3-6-1 double play that ends the inning. And going to the top of the 5th, but not before Lynchburg hangs 5 in the 4th. Coming back in a little bit. Welcome back for the top of the 5th inning. Nick Matfield back out to work. The sophomore ran into his first jam of the afternoon in the 4th inning. Gave up a hit, had to work through an error, but got out of the bases loaded jam to get out of there without a run. But he comes out here for the 5th inning with a 5-run lead. So probably a little breathing room for the sophomore as he allows a hit to the first batter, Owen Lawn. As the first baseman for Roanoke reaches safely here after striking out in the 2nd inning. Here's Carson McCusker. Grounded out to second base earlier in this one. McCusker lays off the first pitch. And it's a ball this time. So Lawn, who jumped on the first pitch for a single, not the case for McCusker. Back into the count for Matfield. It's 1-1. So the final line for Will Turner now. 3 1/3 innings pitched. Comes away with 6 hits and the 5 runs, all 5 earned. And again, as we said, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts with 70 pitches. So Brandon Hill, in his 2/3 of dealing out there in the 4th inning, let up that run. Another ball in the dirt. Matfield's been finding success here on the outside part of the plate and then burying pitches down low. He's had some batters chase. But with Lawn there at first base, he's got to be a little more careful. Luckily, O'Donovan's done a stellar job so far behind the dish, getting down there and keeping those balls in front of him so runners can't advance. (6-4), can't get the 3, but you can't assume a double play there, so no error on the throw there by P.J. Alvanos. And as McCusker reaches there on the fielder's choice, I think that's the first scoop I've seen Garrett Jackson miss. He's played really well over there at first base this season, picking balls out of the dirt. It allows his fielders to have a lot more confidence, making the plays. They're able to throw those balls across the diamond with a little bit more confidence, and you can throw them a little harder knowing that your first baseman's going to be a vacuum over there and not let anything by him. Even that one there, even though he didn't complete the play, he kept it in front of him. That doesn't allow the runner to advance a second, so another good play there by Jackson, even though he doesn't get the out. Just checking on McCusker there at first base is Matfield. Swing and a miss. That's 2 strikes here on Bonzon. Bonzon was out in left field who tried to make a play on the homer from Ryan Long. He just couldn't haul it in. Then he was called on again with the next batter. As this one spiked in the dirt and does get away from O'Donovan as McCusker goes to second base. But after Long homered, Carson went right back to the well and tested Bonzon with a double down the left field line. One and 2 is the count. This one's flied into center field. Carson Atkins there to haul it in for the second out of the inning. Brings up the DH in the 9-hole, Jeb Byerly.
Designated hitter Jeb Byerly.
So here comes Matfield to offer at the 9-hole hitter. With 2 outs and a man on second, that's McCusker out there. First pitch strike from Matfield. So Matfield with 62 pitches today. He's thrown 43 of them for strikes. He sat down 4 with the strikeout, and one of them looking. Only allowed the 2 hits thus far. One of them coming in this inning from Owen Lawn. This one sent down the right field line and out of play. Brings it to 0-2. Roanoke so far in this game batting with 2 outs. 0 for 4. And they have not gotten a hit yet with runners on base. Jeb Byerly looking to turn that around. Matfield deals again. Right at him this time and strikes him out. That's the 5th strikeout of the game for Matfield here in the 5th. And he'll go back to the dugout here as Lynchburg leads 5-0. Coming back for the bottom of the 5th in a bit. So leading off the inning for Lynchburg for the third time is Avery Neves. He was hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance, grounded out to short in the fourth. Despite that, though, Lynchburg got 5 runs last inning without the help of Avery Neves, which is usually not the case. As Neves is one of the most prolific hitters in this Lynchburg lineup. Evens the count up there 1-1. Brandon Hill's back out there on the hill. Allowed the 1 run, but wasn't attributed to him. That one scalded off the heel of Butler as Neves reaches there with a single. I've been praising Butler all day for his fielding abilities, but when it's hit that hard off the bat of Neves, you really can't fault the player for not being able to make the play. Really, you just have to give him credit for even sacrificing his life to get in front of it. Looks like he's a little shaken up after that one. Diving in the way of a Avery Neves line drive is not on my bucket list. PG Alvano's watches strike 1. The second baseman for the Hornets has walked twice. And we have complimented his on-base percentage ability so far. And before the Averett game, Alvanos had walked in all but 2 games. As he gets out of the way of that one, probably thinks, I could have worn it. Could have gotten a free pass. So that's 2-1 here on the second baseman. The left-hand hitting, right-hand throwing second baseman went to high school at North County. He's a major in business admin. He's also a major in administrating RBIs here as he leads the team in that category. It's interesting to see where these players decide to put their play cards. Some players put them in the back pocket. Some players put it on the belt. Some players have it around the wrist. As there's Butler there. Slick fielding makes up for not being able to corral that hit from Neves as he turns a very nifty double play there. He hooks up there with Stass. And that clears the bases, brings up Gavin Collins. So 4-6 out for Neves. 4-6-3 double play for Alvanos. And it's pretty impressive there for Butler, so he makes me look smart there by praising him even after not being able to get that hit and keep it in the infield. So here's Gavin Collins. He struck out in his first AB, singled in his second, came around to score. He was the second run to score in the inning and the first run to cross the plate on Ryan Long's 3-run homer. Collins fists this one the other way, and he's going to take a turnaround second. Oh, and he pulls up just about a quarter of the way to second base, looking for the hustle double. But McCusker was able to cut that one off just in time as he was probably making eye contact with Gavin Collins rounding first. So here's O'Donovan. He drove in the first run of the game. Drove in Alvanos with a single. Checking on Gavin Collins over there at first base as the right-hand hill stares down the catcher now. See O'Donovan try to get out of the way of that one, called for a strike. It's because all these Lynchburg hitters, the mentality of this team is to just crowd that plate. Real tough at-bats, make the pitchers uncomfortable. So this one's hit to about the exact same spot as Collins, and this time Collins does take 2 bases as he rounds and slides into third base safely as O'Donovan has his second hit in a row. So the backup catcher for Lynchburg doing things well, behind the dish and at the dish. Here comes Ryan Long. He's the guy who hit that home run. It was his second of his career, first of the season. All right, so check it out. First and second. 2 outs now for Long. Curveball falls in there for strike 1. Does it feel like 4:57 to you, or does it feel more like 3:57? Daylight saving time. As that one gets the shoulder of Ryan Long as he's going to strut on down to first base. Base is loaded now for Carson Atkins. So hit by pitch there for Long. Looks like it's going to bring another pitching change out. We got 2 outs here in the second inning. We'll see if Coach grabs the ball away from Hill. Looks more like a conversation there out on the bump. You only need to get 1 more out here, so you have the right hand on right hand platoon advantage, of course. So they're going to keep Hill out there. See if he can put away Carson Atkins for the 3rd out of the inning and end the threat in the 5th. So Lynchburg already with 5 runs. Hasn't scored yet in the 5th, but certainly threatening. Collins on 3rd after singling. O'Donovan on 2nd after singling to the same spot as Collins, and Long on 1st after the hit by pitch. First pitch swung on and fouled away by Atkins. Lynchburg with 9 hits here in the second game of the doubleheader. Just about halfway through. This one's chopped high, and it kicks out in foul territory. So that was going to be a tough play. Looks like it had an infield hit written all over it, especially with the speedy Atkins running down towards first. But instead, it's 0-2. So Atkins, who's already struck out 4 times today, also has 2 hits in between the 2 games. Looks to turn the lineup card over. Bring back Cam Lane. It's going to have to work out of an 0-2 count to do so. Swings right through that one, and Hill retires the side. Good call there by the Roanoke coaches to keep Hill out on the bump. And that does it for Lynchburg in the 5th inning. We're over halfway through. 5-0.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. 100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it.
As we come out of the break here in the 6th inning, a new pitcher on the mound. Travis Shoemate throwing his warm-up tosses as he relieves Nick Matfield. Matfield does not give up a run in his outing. He only let up 2 hits in 5 innings. Struck out 5. And a good distribution of outs on the ground and in the air as he had 6 groundouts and 4 flyouts. Threw 46 of his pitches for strikes, and he was just pounding the zone all day, starting every at-bat with a 0-1 count. Really helped the sophomore work comfortably through that outing there. And he's in line for the win here as he's out of the game in the 6th with 5 runs. So it's Shoemate, who also must have been paying attention to Matfield's outing as he starts. Kokalis with a strike. Another one up in the zone that Kokalis can't catch up with. Down 0-2. This one's buried in the dirt. The fastball probably looking for the put-away pitch. Instead brings up 1-2. Trevor Shoemate's favorite movie is 13 Hours. Hopefully it's not 13 hours long, because I couldn't imagine sitting through a 13-hour movie. Can't imagine how that could be anyone's favorite movie either. I've never seen 13 Hours, though. Curveball gets away from Shoemate there. Brings up a full count, so Kokalis has worked a full count after being down 0-2 to start the at-bat. In 6 1/3 innings, 6 hits for Shoemate, 4 runs allowed, 2 of them earned, 7 strikeouts though. So he gets the first out of the inning to fly out to Neves in left. And that brings up Will Smith. Will Smith with a hit in 2 at-bats here. Starting out Will Smith with a ball here. Shoemate, the hard-throwing right-hander. Junior, stands at 6 feet tall. Came from King William High School. This one's buried in the dirt again. Down 2-0. Not much of a resume for Shoemate here, but he's been frequently called upon by Travis Beasley and the crew here for Lynchburg. This is his 6th appearance, only made 9 as a sophomore and only made 4 as a freshman. Did win 2 games, though, in that 2019-20 season. And that was a shortened season as well, you got to remember, with COVID-19 in 2019-20. So 2 wins and 4.2 innings pitched. It's pretty good for the freshman. And this one's sent way back the other way, and running into the wall and making the catch is Cam Lane for out number 2. So 2 long outs for Roanoke, but outs nonetheless as they are down to their final out of the 6th inning. Good play there by Cam Lane. Cam Lane started the season as a designated hitter for the Hornets, still leading off. Jackson Harding was manning right field as a senior. But now Cam Lane steps into that job out there in right. And he's holding his own. Oh, geez, you heard that one. Foul ball coming back, knocking off the crowd mic. Hope everyone's okay. Sounds like one of our pitchers back there is putting the mic back on the stand. We apologize for the sound there. But we appreciate our pitcher who's back there helping him out. That one's waved at, and a sword gets the strike 2 call from the first base umpire, and Butler is down to his final strike here with 2 outs. Curveball up in the zone. Doesn't fall far enough, and it's 1-2. Oh, hopping off the mound there was Shoemate, who thought he dumped that curveball in for strike 3. Instead, it's a 2-2 count. And this time, the curveball falls in to retire the side in order for Shoemate. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base after Shoemate works a clean 6th inning. Due up in the bottom of the 6th inning will be Cam Lane, Logan Webster, and Garrett Jackson. Top of the order coming up when we come back.
Hi, Mara Willis. How are you? Pretty good.
A lot of people go to the universities to find something to be a part of while getting their education. And when you come here, Lynchburg is that something, it becomes a family. It doesn't matter how long ago you had your professor, they still remember you and they remember all of the hard work that you put in. They're always there for you, and they always want to do the best that they can to help you succeed. Here, you learn how to love one another regardless of what's going on or what you believe. You leave here better than what you came in. It's what this school's really good at doing.
Welcome back for the top of the 6th inning here on LHSN on the campus of University of Lynchburg as Cam Lane takes a leadoff strike. The leadoff hitter today, 1 for 2, also was hit by a pitch, hasn't come around to score yet. He finds himself down 0-2 in the count. The offering is high and outside. Lane will live to see another pitch. Swung on there, drop 3rd strike, forced to complete the play, and Kokolis does to get the first out of the inning. Here comes Logan Webster. He's also 1 for 2 with a walk, getting his 2nd start of his career. The coaches like this Logan Webster guy. They've talked a lot about him, and he's finally broken his way into the lineup here in his first season of college action. Also plays a shortstop for the team, or excuse me, outfield. He's looking one spot above. But this time he hits one into the outfield, and he's going to try the hustle double here, testing the arm of the right fielder. He slides in safely with a double. McCusker couldn't make the throw, and how's that for the freshman? Making the coaches look smart as he's out there with a 2nd hit of the game. I guess I wouldn't call that one a hustle double, as that one was up against the fence. Brings up Garrett Jackson. Garrett Jackson has ended the inning in all 3 at-bats he's had today. So that one's in the dirt. Garrett Jackson facing Brandon Hill. Hill's out there for his second full inning. He came on in relief in the fourth. Allowed a run, but it was not attributed to him. Walked the batter and got Jackson to ground into a double play. Cut on and missed, 1-1 here for Jackson. That one right down the chute. 2 strikes now on the first baseman. Jackson on his career is a .300 hitter. And he laces that one over the shortstop's head. Rounding second is Logan Webster. Running down the line with him is Lucas Jones. And going to second on the throw home is Jackson, and trading places with Webster as the Hornets tack on another run. Good hitting there with 2 strikes for Jackson. And Webster scores another run. So here's Avery Neves. He singled in his last at bat, also was hit by a pitch. Looking to keep the line moving. This one's in the dirt from Hill. And Jackson will scurry back to second base. Tried to read that one in the dirt, but good play there by the catcher. Again, that one's down in the zone, and a 2-0 count here for Neves. And this has got to be scary to be a pitcher. Pitching to Neves with a 2-0 count. First base is open with 1 run. That one's fouled up above the press box here. And 2-1 count. Here's a stoppage in play. And I'm not sure what this is. I'm going to try to figure this one out with you. There has been a lot of chattering from the crowd here on a nice peaceful Sunday afternoon. Umpires consulted to the right of the mound, but doesn't look like much is going to come out of it. So now here comes the manager. It's Ulrich coming out of the dugout. He's kind of interested in what's going on as well. Wish I could walk out there and ask the same question. Also talking behind the plate there is Neves with the catcher Kokolis. All right, so after a seemingly irrelevant stoppage of play, we are back in action here, and it seems like that stoppage has bolstered the crowd's intensity even more. It's probably the loudest it's been here at Fox Field all day. That one sent foul the other way. Brings the count to 2-2. So we'll see what Hill does here. Is he going to attack the All-American hitter? The pitch swung on to third base. Looked back at second as Jackson. The throw gets away. Throw gets away there from Lawn. Wall's throw from third base was off target. And it's going to put Neves safely Jackson had to stop at second base as Wall looked him back at third. So it's going to be first and second. No run score on the play. Still one out, though, as Neves reaches on the error. Brings up P.J. Alvanos, just the guy for the job. The RBI administrator major steps in here with one out and runners out first and third. Hill starts out this at bat with another ball buried in the dirt, and it's 1-0 to Alvanos here. Runner goes, throw to second base is not in time, and there's a stolen base for Neves. Jackson stays at third, but nevertheless, it's runners at second and third for Alvanos here with one out. Make that stolen base numero 5 for Neves on the season. That one misses the zone, 3-0. That one tabs the outside corner of the plate, and back in it is Hill, 3-1. Alvanos now with a little bit more opportunity to swing the bat as he is standing right on top of the plate there. 3-1 count. Out of the zone. That'll walk, the bases loaded. Here comes Gavin Collins. Third baseman with hits in 2 straight at-bats in the 4th and 5th inning. As Hill is still out there working. Pitch is called for a strike. Swung on and fouled back. That's going to be an 0-2 count here, as there's one down with the bases juiced for the Fresh Prince himself, Gavin Collins. That's his walk-up song. You can tell a lot about a person based on their walk-up song. Swung on and missed, and Hill sits down Collins and is trying to work this vanishing act here. Although he has allowed the RBI hit from Jackson as Logan Webster has scored. First pitch strike here to Riley O'Donovan. O'Donovan also with 2 hits in his last 2 at-bats in the 4th and 5th as well. Drove in the first run of the game. That one on the outside corner of the plate again. You have to wonder if the way that these Hornets stand on top of the plate, that kind of expands the zone a little bit on the outside corner, because of the way these batters are standing right on top of the base. This curveball doesn't fall in. It's going to be 1-2 now. O'Donovan swung on and fouled down the left field line. So O'Donovan looks like he's getting work in just about every other game. Got at bats as the DH against York a little bit as well, and Averett. But on the season, batting .286, 5 RBI. Make that 6 on the season with today's. Batted .208 as a freshman last year. Swung on in the dirt, 2 outs, so force out at home. Gets the strikeout and out of the inning with just 1 run to his name is Brandon Hill. And going to the top of the 7th now. Lynchburg leads 6-0.
1 error, 3 runners left on.
Okay. Pretty good.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
Mason Stas, the shortstop, steps in against Shoemate for his 2nd inning of work. Shoemate retired the side in order and ended the 6th inning with a strikeout. And here we are in the 7th. Stas, this is his 3rd at-bat. He struck out, grounded into a fielder's choice. It was later out on another fielder's choice going to second base, so shortstop looking to reach base safely here in his 3rd trip. Swung on here, brought it to 1-2. Stas flew out in his first at bat in the first game, and then he reached base safely with 3 straight hits, scored a run in the first game. The 4-hitter here, batting as the shortstop. Ball outside, never a chance. Wasn't ever intended, just trying to get Stas the chase there. Evens the count back up, 2-2. Impressive that Shoemate has been using that curveball for a strikeout pitch, really not looking to get it to get the batter swinging. He's throwing it up in the zone, trying to have that thing just fall in for strike number 3. This one misses somewhere, and Stas walks to lead off the 7th. Brings up Johnny Wall. Third baseman made an error in the top of the inning. Allowed a run to score, brought the score to 6-0. Both teams with 1 error. Lynchburg with 11 hits to Roanoke's 2, and Lynchburg with 6 runs to Roanoke's 0. Shoemate with that compact delivery throws that thing from behind his ear. Kind of looks like he's short arming it in there, but he's got some good velocity on it, and like we have seen, he can really bend that breaking ball in for strikes. This one's blasted out into the left center gap, but tracking it down is Atkins through the shadows, and there's the first out of the inning for Roanoke.
First baseman Owen Long.
Something I've wondered here in the early months of, I guess it's still winter, but of the spring season, is that batter's eye. The backdrop for the batters must be pretty difficult, as those trees there you see whitish, grayish brown, and the ball just must blend in. Must be pretty difficult to hit. You can pick up the ball with that backdrop, because you know in major league parks and professional ballparks, there's the batter's eye back there, a big green backdrop to make it more visible, you know, a big contrast between the white ball and the green background. But that looks like the ball kind of blends in pretty clearly. This one's popped up. Owen Long is going to be out on the foul out to Garrett Jackson at first, and that's 2 away. So rumor has it the reason why they started implementing the batter's eye out in center field is because before there was established boundaries with walls out in center field and the outfield back in the olden days of baseball, Chicago baseball fans would be out there with reversible jackets. They would have white jackets on, and you could reverse it to be black. And when the Cubs were batting, they would have their black jackets on, and then when the opposing team would come up to bat, they would flip their jackets around to white, and it would blend in, and it'd be harder for the batters to see with the white ball up against the white jackets of the Cubs fans, center field. So rumor has it that's why. That's why they implemented the batter's eye out in center field. Can't change the color of the trees until the leaves come back, though, as we have a 1-1 strike. Here to Carson McCusker with 2 outs. This one's fouled off the top of the batting cage over on the third base dugout side. And 2 strikes now. Ball in the dirt. Covered up by O'Donovan, and that keeps Staz at first base. Two count, 2 outs here to the Roanoke right fielder. Hitless in 2 at bats. Also a fielder's choice victim. Cut on and fouled off. Long at bat here. So Shoemate, he'll deliver with the 2-2 count. Swung on and missed. That's strikeout and out number 3. Down quietly with just 1 left on for Roanoke in the top of the 7th. And that's the second strikeout of the afternoon for Shoemate. Going to the bottom of the 7th. Lynchburg looking to add on to a 6-0 lead.
When you come to the University of Lynchburg to earn a master's degree in athletic training, you'll spend time in the classroom, but you'll also spend a lot of time in our top-notch facilities, learning from athletic trainers and working closely with our student athletes. In the Graduate Cadaver Lab, you'll learn about the human body in the best way possible, by actually studying the human body. This will provide a foundation to make you a much better athletic trainer. In the athletic training laboratory, you'll get hands-on experience, practicing your skills, applying concepts from the classroom and working with faculty on research projects. It's also where our hydrotherapy facilities are. This space is also used by students for studying and practicing skills outside of class time. In the Sports Medicine Clinic and Turner Gymnasium, you'll work with student athletes from more than 20 NCAA Division III sports teams, helping get them back to practice and into the game as soon as possible. As an athletic training student, you're a big part of the success of our sports teams and the success of the local athletic teams. We see this relationship as a win-win situation. You learn, that helps us win.
Ryan Long.
Ryan Long homered in the 4th inning, brought home 3 runs in this 6-run ball game. He leads off against Brandon Hill, who's out for his 4th inning of work, but 2.2 innings recorded so far. He came on in relief for the starter in the 4th inning, and he's been on the mound ever since. One and one's the count to the sophomore shortstop. Waved at it for a called strike 2. Even if it was appealed down to the first base umpire, I think that was in the zone anyway for Long, as he finds himself down 1 and 2. Evens the count at 2 and 2. Hill has allowed 1 run of his own. He struck out 4 and walked 2 on 53 pitches. Ryan Long's 1 for 2 here with 3 RBI on the day, as we mentioned. Strikes out for the first time in game 2. That'll bring up Carson Atkins.
Center fielder, number 12, Carson Atkins.
Atkins struck out twice in this game and also scored after doubling in the 4th, as there's strike 1. This one's fouled off. 2 strikes, no balls. Ball inside. Carson Atkins, the center fielder, standing in there. 6'4". That will ring him up as not the tallest player on the team. Got several players listed at 6'4" on the team, but standing the tallest is the transfer, Nick Reaney, DH first baseman. He's a junior, left-handed batter. Stands at 6'5" as Atkins strikes out looking for the 3rd time. And that's the 2nd strikeout of the inning. But Nicholas Reaney, we haven't seen him yet. Transferred in here from a junior college. Been recovering from injury, and maybe we'll see the big lefty sometime this season. That'd be a nice welcome bat to the lineup. Strike to Cam Lane, who steps in here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Didn't even say anything about the 7th inning stretch. Hope you got up and stretched your legs a little bit, walked around. I've been in the same spot since 11 a.m. today, watching D3 baseball and this Lynchburg Hornets team take on Roanoke here on LHSN. Another 1-2 count here as Hill deals and strikes out Lane. Strikes out Lane for the 2nd time in a row, and then he strikes out the side for the first time on the day. Lynchburg goes down quietly with 3 strikeouts. And Hill settled in here as we head to the top of the 8th.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
Welcome back here to Fox Field. I'm Tim LaDuca on LHSN. As we've got a new pitcher out there for the Hornets, it's Jack Batchmore, the junior from Alexandria, Virginia. Will toe the rubber in the 8th inning. And leading off in the 8th is Jacob Bonzon, the left fielder. Check out the final line for Travis Shoemate. He came on in relief for 2 innings. Walked 1, struck out 2, and didn't allow a hit. So a good outing there from Shoemate. But Jack Batchmore is out here now for the Hornets. Batchmore, he's kind of that dual pitcher. You can come on in relief as you see, and he can also start a game, and he's been doing both pretty well. 16.2 innings pitched this season. Got a minuscule 1.62 ERA. So he allows a leadoff hit to Bonzon. That goes through the hole on the right side into the right field. As that ground ball to right field alerts us of the defensive change, as Ethan Maratsky's out there in right field now, a defensive replacement. Trying to maintain the 6-0 lead.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Pinch hitting for the Maroons, number 29, Jack Carpin.
So here's number 29, pinch hitting for Roanoke. It's Jack Carpin from Richmond, Virginia. But looking back at Batchmore, he's come on in relief now. This is the 3rd time he's come out of the bullpen, but he's also started 3 games. He's 1-1 in those contests, but the one he lost against Averett was a gem. He pitched 4 in the 3rd inning, only let up 3 hits with 1 run. He struck out 3, but Lynchburg couldn't hit in that game, and being no hit into the 8th inning. And Batchmore had to take the loss as he was removed after allowing the run in the 5th inning. Lynchburg's bullpen was able to post a scoreless rest of the game, but Lynchburg also went scoreless. As the runner goes, as Bonzon takes second easily. Stolen base number 7 for the left fielder. This brings the count to 1-2 here. As we said, Jack Carpin, the pinch hitter. Carpin waves at that one, and he's sat down for the first out of the inning. Turn the lineup card over, bring up P.K. Kokolis, the catcher. Hitless and 3 trips to the plate in this game.
Catcher P.K. Kokolis.
But yeah, real impressive stuff as a starter and a reliever for Batchmore this season in his 3rd stint with the Hornets. First pitch swung on and missed from the leadoff hitter and P.K. Kokolis. Batting .349 on the year coming into this weekend. 17 RBI. Also stealing 4 bags. Only 1 hit, though, across the 2 games. He also was hit by a pitch in the first game today. Kokola stands at 6 feet out of Fairfax, Virginia. Senior leader on this team, of course. But again, this senior coming into his first full season. Never played more than 13 games. He's played all 12 so far for Roanoke this season. And he's doing well. Batted .387 in 13 games in 2020-21 last year. And he was hitting for power too, .677 slugging percentage, which is just about the same as it is now, as this one's cut on in the dirt, put away at first base for the second out of the inning. And another strikeout for Batchmore. So Batchmore allowed the first hit, as Bonzon advances the third on the drop third strike, even though O'Donovan got the put out at first with Jackson. This one's in the dirt. Man, O'Donovan's been great back there today for the Hornets behind the dish. Stepped up big time. Replacing Fiedler, who caught the first game. And he's been making a lot of good stops that allows these Hornet pitchers and Travis Beasley to really call a dynamic set of pitches. Really frees up a lot of breaking balls, can put stuff down in the zone, can spin a lot of stuff. You can get pretty nasty with those off-speed breaking balls when you have faith in the catcher behind the plate. And even when the ball is in the dirt, it gets away for strike 3, they've been able to put away those runners on the drop third strikes. So high praises for Riley O'Donovan here in his sophomore year behind the dish. Batchmore delivers. That one is grounded weakly to second base and not fielding it cleanly as Alveno, so a run will score on the error from the senior second baseman. That breaks the shutout for the Hornets.
Second baseman Connor Butler.
So an E4 for Will Smith, not an RBI, as the inning is extended. Unearned run charged to Batchmore there. This one's flied out to right field down the line. Morotsky lost it in the sun, and this one's going to fall now. Coming all the way around from first base is Smith. And just like that, 2 runs have scored in the 8th. But that one's going to go down as a hit. So that's a double for Connor Butler, as it was lost in the sun by Morotsky. That will be an RBI. Still not an earned run, though, as the inning should be over with the 2-out error at second base. But that is going to go down as an RBI for Butler. So Batchmore, after striking out the first 2, or actually let up a leadoff hit, but striking out 2, the last 2 balls that have been in play have fallen. And this inning's been extended now. This one's skied up in the air. Can Lynchburg finally make the 3rd out? Bats in between the legs of O'Donovan, and that one falls. They're going to call that a fair ball, as O'Donovan had his feet in fair territory, and this inning is starting to really fall apart, as that's going to be charged in E2 on O'Donovan. So Butler gets to third base, and this is something you don't see very often. Lucas Jones coming out of the dugout here to talk to Batchmore and the crew. Because, I mean, Batchmore's been pitching well. It really hasn't been Batchmore. It's the 2 errors and then the misplay in right field. Went down as a hit on the fly ball to right field that Morosky lost in the sun. But with 2 outs now, Lynchburg's just desperate for that final out. And for Roanoke, they're just happy to keep stringing these at-bats together, getting men on and forcing Lynchburg to make the final out. And it's been an error at second base by P.J. Alvenos, lost in the sun from Ethan Morosky. And then, if you want to say anything, Riley Donovan had a bat between his legs, kind of tangled up his feet. Looked like he was shuffling his feet a little bit, trying to, get his bearings straight. And the ball just popped out of his mitt. So, second error of the inning brings up Johnny Wall with 2 outs and 2 runs across, and now a 6-2 ball game. Batchmore misses outside for 1-0, leading off to Johnny Wall here, the third baseman. As the Hornets are now kind of making you sweat it out. That one crosses the plate for a strike. This one sent out into center field. Atkins is there, and he finally gets the Hornets out of trouble and out of the inning. But not before 2 runs come across with 2 outs. And 8 batters came to the plate for Roanoke there. We'll come back for the bottom of the 8th in a little bit. Bottom of the 8th here at Fox Field. Lynchburg taking on Roanoke in the second of 2 games. Lynchburg leading 6-2 as Brandon Hill's back on the mound for Roanoke as he faces Logan Webster. The freshman is 2 for 3 with a walk on the afternoon here in the second game as he stings this one to short. Stass across a diamond and an easy first out of the inning. So Garrett Jackson step up to the plate after singling in his last at bat during the 6th inning. And he'll take on Hill for the 3rd time now. First time up against Hill, he grounded into a double play and then single for an RBI in the 6th. Roanoke staying in this game. It's a good ball club. 6-5 now in the season. Came into the game 6-4. Just took 3 in a row from Case Western. And looking at Brandon Hill in his career, 13.75 Ks per nine. That's a pretty good mark in his junior season, but didn't play as a freshman. 6 appearances last year as a sophomore. Started 2 games, pitched 11 innings, struck out 15. And so coming into this game today, he had 13 strikeouts in 6.2 innings. So strikeout machine. We saw that last inning as he's got a 2-strike count, 2 balls, 2 strike on Hill right now, or excuse me, on Jackson. Struck out to side in the 7th, fanning Ryan Long, Carson Atkins, and Cameron Lane. Sat down Cameron Lane for the 2nd time. He also struck out Carson Atkins for the 2nd time. As this one's in the dirt, works a full count for Garrett Jackson here. Roanoke came into this game with a 4-game winning streak, and Lynchburg halted that. And alternatively, Lynchburg came into this weekend with a 1-game losing streak, and then, turned that around. Had previously won 8 in a row. So here's Avery Neves, as he is 1 for 3 with a hit by pitch. Also stole a bag in the 6th. Strike there with Jackson on first. Neves batting out of the 4 spot. Will lean out of the way of that high fastball. Goes to 1-1. Avery Neves won ODAC Player of the Week 2 weeks ago. Carson Atkins won it this week. Neves also was named to D3 Baseball's Team of the Week. And speaking of D3 Baseball, Lynchburg, D3Baseball.com, Lynchburg ranks 7th in their poll currently. Moving all the way up from the first team out of the top 25 receiving votes to begin the preseason poll. And they've just skyrocketed up the rankings. 3-1 count here on Neves. This is a batter who has walked 11 times already on the year. He walked 38 times last year, not including hit by pitches. There's another free pass for Neves. That's the 12th of the season. And that makes it 1st and 2nd. 2 straight walks in the inning with 1 out as P.J. Alvanos steps up to the plate.
Here's second baseman, number 18, P.J. Alvanos.
Alvanos stepping to the plate as Roanoke's coach comes out to the mound. And we're going to go to a break until this meeting is adjourned. We'll be back.
When you come to the University of Lynchburg to earn a master's degree in athletic training, you'll spend time in the classroom, but you'll also spend a lot of time in our top-notch.
So just a meeting on the mound for Hill as the junior pitcher delivers and hits in the zone actually for strike number 1. So Hill has made a start this year. He made 2 starts last year. And in this game, he has thrown more pitches than the starter. He's gone 80 pitches today, 46 of them for strikes. Right up the chute for Alvanos. That's an infield fly rule, so second out is recorded before Stass makes the catch. Gavin Collins comes up to the plate nonetheless. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Lynchburg leading 6-2 here on LHSN. Gavin Collins stands in. 2 for 4 on the day with 2 strikeouts, 2 singles. Scores a run. As he cuts on and misses the first one. Actually fouled it off. My apologies. Collins standing in, facing Hill for the third time today. Sends this one out to left field. Bonzon is under it. And he makes the catch to retire the side. Roanoke coming up for their last 3 outs. Unless they can score 4. We'll be back for the top of the 9th. Can't wait.
Facilities, learning from athletic trainers and working closely with our student athletes. In the Graduate Cadaver Lab, you'll learn about the human body in the best way possible by actually studying the human body. This will provide a foundation to make you a much better athletic trainer. In the Athletic Training Laboratory, you'll get hands-on experience, practicing your skills, applying concepts from the classroom, and working with faculty on research projects. It's also where our hydrotherapy facilities are. This space is also used by students for studying and practicing skills outside of class time. In the Sports Medicine Clinic and Turner Gymnasium, you'll work with student athletes from more than 20 NCAA Division III sports teams, helping get them back to practice and into the game as soon as possible. As an athletic training student, you're a big part of the success of our sports teams and the success of the local athletic teams. We see this relationship as a win-win situation. You learn, and that helps us win.
We're back for the top of the 9th inning here as the sun is setting on March 13th, daylight saving. Sprang forward a little bit, 1 hour. And Batchmore springs forward here with the first pitch strike delivered to Owen Lawn. Doing the catching again now for Lynchburg is Holden Fiedler, so he comes out there as the veteran presence to get these final 3 outs. On its way out to right field, Maratsky tracking, catches it on the side of his body, makes the out for the first out of the inning. 2 more outs left for Roanoke. It's going to be a pinch hitter here. Number 24, Hunter Andrews. He's a senior from Richmond, Virginia. He steps into the plate. With 1 out here in the 9th. Andrews fouls it off. Andrews, as a senior, he's a career .256 hitter, batting .375 on the year, .444 on base percentage in 8 at-bats. He finds himself quickly down 0-2. Still dealing out there for Lynchburg is Jack Batchmore. This one is 1 hop to long, and play is made for the second out of the inning. Hunter Andrews can't get the job done with the pinch hit, and it will be Jacob Bonzon for the last chance effort for Roanoke. As the sun is gracefully setting here on Fox Field. Temperature has only gone up since the beginning. We started around 30 degrees this morning, all the way up to 48. And what a coincidence, 48 degrees and number 48 out on the mound for Lynchburg, Jack Batchmore. This one sent hard to third base, gets past Collins. Collins throws that one out of play. So Bonzon will get on with the misplay from Collins, and then he'll also reach second on the throw. So that is going to be 2 errors for Collins. error allows him to reach, and then error also allows him to go to second base on the throw. So that's unfortunate there for Collins. But here is Carpin. Came on as the pinch hitter, moved into the DH spot, and he sees a first pitch strike with 2 outs here for Lynchburg. Cut on and fouled off. Down to their last strike. The Maroons here with a man on second. That's Bonzon. He reached on the error and went to second on the throw. And Carpin here now, looking to be a hero to extend this game at least. The pitch in the dirt, stopped by Fiedler. Remember, that's Fiedler behind the plate now. It's a long day for the catcher Fiedler. Caught 9 innings in the first game and has to stay fresh enough to come on to help Lynchburg close this game out. But how about PK Kokalis, the senior catcher for Roanoke? He's caught all 17 innings today. Swung on and miss. Batchmore closes it out, and the Hornets are back to their winning ways. They take both against Roanoke, win this one 6-2. So that'll do it from Fox Field. It was an entertaining 18 innings of baseball as Batchmore ends the game. We'll check out his final line. Batchmore struck out 3 in 2 innings and he allowed 2 runs on 2 hits. Shoemate, no runs on no hits. And Nick Matfield, the winning pitcher today, 2 hits and no run baseball. He struck out 5. Hitting accomplishments today, multiple hit games from Logan Webster. He had 2. O'Donovan with 2. Collins with 2 hits. And then Neves, Long, Lane, Jackson all rang out hits, as well as Atkins. Ryan Long was the hero of the day, though, with a 3-run homer to put Lynchburg up big and up for good. And that'll do it. Thanks for spending your Sunday with me and also with Mark Robertson on the call in Game 1. Thanks to my LHSN staff and everyone affiliated around here. We hope you had a great time watching Lynchburg baseball, and we'll see you soon for some more Hornet baseball.